My name is Alex. I'm here at YayClay Studios in Port Richmond, Philadelphia, and we are going to do a demo on coming off the hump. So I've got 8 pounds of clay wedged here, and if you give us 1 second, we're going to go throw this on the wheel. So I'm going to get my wheel head just a little wet with a sponge, so I squeeze it out all the way, turn on the wheel, and apply force to it, and just get a little bit of water. If you'll notice, my wheel head is spinning clockwise because I am a left-handed. If you are right-handed like most people, you're going to want to spin the other way, and you can just kind of flip over what I'm doing using your opposite hand. So to get the center, I kind of line it up a little bit, lift it straight up, slam it down. Now I will push it just a little bit to make sure that it is centered before I even start spinning the wheel. The less work you have to do to get this centered, the better off you are, the easier it's going to be. So this is pretty good. It's firmly on the bat head. Spin it. A little bit of water. And centering this is tricky, but you start at the bottom. Put your elbow kind of right into your hip. I've got my leg here kind of back a little bit, so I've got a little more force. I'll start at the bottom and push this in and up. That's pretty good, but I'm going to push it down and push it up one more time just to make sure everything is centered. Down, all the way to the back. And now back up. And when you're throwing off the hump, you're going to throw a small portion of this clay. And what I do is I try to keep this a nice narrow cone shape, and I will actually put a little indent right in the side, and I'm kind of blocking off and showing that this is the amount of clay that I want to use for this particular piece. I'll flatten this down. Take one finger. I'll use my thumb and drill a hole, and I'm shooting to go about right here. So now they're lined up. I will open up this hole a little bit. I'm pulling this straight towards me. I'm not going up or down, just straight back towards me. Smooth out the base. When you're throwing off the hump, you're not compressing too much, so I want to go back and forth just on the floor of this vessel to make sure that I don't get an S crack. So I've got that done. I'll go ahead and do my first pull. Okay. You want to keep your hands wet and the clay wet. Second pull. If you notice, I'm starting all the way kind of at the base, all the way at the floor, and I'm working this clay until it is at the rim. Cool. Now I've got the form pulled clay. I'm going to shape it using one of these ribs. I like to use a wood rib on the inside and a plastic rib on the outside. I'm going to push this out a little bit. Up. And I'm going to turn the lip out just a little bit so it's a nice drinking edge.
Show us those tools again, Alex.
Okay, these are just 2 ribs. And now to smooth out this rim, I have a piece of canvas, a chamois actually, that's screwed into a cork so that it floats in my water bucket. And I just wrap it around this way. And I've got a perfectly smooth lip here. Now this is a special tool for throwing off the hump, and I can use this point of it to make a groove. And I'm going to go right below the floor of my vessel. Push it in, want to smooth out the top here, right like that. Slow it down, get my string wet. And the string, all you have to do is get it right inside that groove. It's going to wrap around, tear this piece off, and I now have a cup. Now for the next one, all I have to do is push this up, recenter the top, mark my little groove, and I'm ready to throw another piece. As you can see, this keeps me from having to recenter the piece every time. I only have to wedge one big piece. So this is a really fast way to make a whole bunch of smaller items.